What up? This is Rama Screen, and in the anticipation of Redstone arriving in select theaters and on VOD and on digital December 3, I'm here talking with the stars of this new film. They're my favorite actors, Neal McDonough and Michael Cudlitz. How are you both gentlemen this morning?
Doing great.
Great after that introduction.
Good. Thank you for taking the time. Congratulations on the film. I've been a big fan of both of yours for quite some time. Neal, of course, Captain America, First Avenger, Arrowverse on CW. And tomorrow I'm seeing Resident Evil Raccoon City. Looking forward to that. And Michael, of course, The Walking Dead and Southland and Band of Brothers. You two are some of the most prominent working actors we have in this business ever. Was Redstone really your first time working together? Have you guys known each other prior? What's it like collaborating on this project for both of you? Let's start with you, Neal.
Well, we've known each other for 30 years, but we first really started to get to know each other on Band of Brothers. And on Band of Brothers, we had so little time together actually on screen. And then when I did an episode of a TV series I was doing called Medical Investigation, there was this great character, and I said, "You got to get Cudlitz." And it was the same feeling when it came to Redstone. When I read Redstone, I was blown away by the words that Derek Presley put on the page, and they were really fantastic. And he said, "Who do you want to play the villain?" And there was only one choice, and it was Michael Cudlitz. And luckily, everything aligned because Michael was doing several projects at the time, and things. It was just hard to get him into the project. But he opened a window, he came in, he knocked the ball out of the yard, and he killed it for us. And it's to be able to be on screen with not just his talent, but our friendship and how much we've been buddies for so long, and I love Michael, and the trust that we have with each other as artists really shows on screen. And I think that's why Redstone was such a fantastic little film, because the two of us really, we throw it all out there. We don't mail anything in. We're there to win on every take, and it's infectious. And I'm so blessed to be part of a film like this.
Yeah. Neal said it. This is our third time working together, but really our first time having any sort of meaningful screen time together. Neal is producer on the film. He reached out to me. I told him I would do it sight unseen. Just the fact that he had reached out. After reading the script, I was glad I made the choice, and it was wonderful experience. Easy. They're always fun. They're not always easy. This one was both.
That's right.
Neal, I like your character's physicality with that fedora that you wear and the all black suit, kind of like Johnny Cash. Was that your input or contribution to that, or was that in Derek's script? What were some of the things that you did to enhance your character Boone?
Well, we really wanted to make a neo-Western, and I think we nailed it. And then going through wardrobe, I thought that if he's going to be a hitman, he has to look like a hitman and kind of blend in. But he also would need a hat so he could hide from cameras and security cameras, all kinds of things. So it was simple. We came up with a black suit. We stayed with the black suit the whole time. And then, the fedora was, that was my idea, to have some kind of fedora like that. I really wanted to have a Stetson-y type of thing, but I didn't want it to look like a real Western Stetson. I wanted to have something that's kind of a throwback to the older days, almost like a 30s, 40s type of gangster type of feeling to it in a neo-Western. And it really worked. I think the hat kind of made the character of Boone. And then, since then we've done Boone Part 2. We're going to do more of them. And it's all because of that fedora. I truly believe it. That was kind of like the kiss for the character.
To follow up on that, you spend much of the screen time on screen time with your co-star Dash, who plays Motley. Talk to me about your process with Dash, creating that on-screen dynamic. What do you think a killer or an assassin like Boone sees in Motley that affects Boone's compassionate side?
Well, he really sees himself, when he's, and Dash is such a great kid, getting to know his family so well. It was funny when Dash came to set, he was really scared to meet me because I play so many villains. He goes, "I don't want to meet Neal because he just scares me." And then finally we're doing our first scene, and his dad told me this. And then I wouldn't say anything to him. I just look at him between takes, and I just walk away, just to get him so intimidated. And then he went to the director and goes, "Okay, I think I'd like to meet Neal now." And the director came to me, and, "What do you think?" And I said, "No, I don't want to meet him yet. I don't want to talk to him." And it made him so nervous and scared around me to start with, and that's what the first half of the film was. And we shot it as chronologically as possible. But then when he got to know me and Reve and our 5 kids and all that other stuff, he realized who I was in my real life and who my character was also becoming. My character was becoming much more like me. And then the relationship between two of us really took off. And For his first time in a film, Dash Melrose killed it. He really did an amazing job, and I'm so proud of him.
Yes, indeed. And Michael, that season 7 Walking Dead still haunts me to this day. Obviously, your character in Redstone, Jed, is the opposite end of the spectrum, on the opposite end of the spectrum from Abraham Ford. Um, what way, what were some of the inspirations that you drew from in order to play Jed, this ruthless Southern gangster? And how fun was it to step into Jed's shoes?
It was a blast. I think that the interesting thing is when you're playing, someone who is ruthless, you don't necessarily lean into the ruthlessness of it. My sort of goal was to keep him as positive as possible, as likable as possible, so that the heinous things that he does are that much more striking. To sort of have someone who seemingly is most concerned about his daughter and his granddaughter, and then to see him just sort of have some, such careless disregard for life, is, off-putting. And I think that's sort of at the heart of where I think Jed finds his strength, is that people think one thing and it sort of gets him looking another way, and then he can do what he needs to do. I had a blast. I had a lot of fun playing the character. It was fun and easy.
To follow up on that, correct me if I'm wrong, I probably need to rewatch this movie again, but it seems that there's a bit of a history between Boone and Jed, albeit not a pleasant one. Did you use that to kind of create the reason for Jed's anger or fury?
Well, I think the history they have is actually a good history. And that's where the problem comes from, is that Jed doesn't really understand what's going on. He worked for me, and there has never been an issue. And I know that he's been doing this a while, and I know that he's sort of at the end, look, I feel like my business is even winding down, to a large degree. And I think Jed's looking at an opportunity to sort of move in a different direction. And this sort of pulls everything back into, sort of the old days that we used to have. And because there has not been this type of excitement for a while. So I reach out, because, so sort of like one last job or one more job. And I see he's getting ready to move on. And early on, I believe he thinks, all right, we'll do one more thing. We will part ways and it'll be fine. Until we realize, I guess we're not going to part ways, because I can't leave any witnesses. And right now, Boone, you've become a liability. So Boone needs to be handled.
My final question for both of you, Neal and Michael, you've been in this business for a long time, and I'm sure you've done, Comic-Cons or WonderCons or any of the fan convention, because people eternally associate you with your characters. When fans come up to you calling you Abraham or calling you Damien Dark, even long after you've left those roles, does that give you a sense of endearment, or do you sometimes get tired of it? Let's start with you, Michael.
Yeah, to have touched somebody in such a way that somebody is screaming out to you because you've affected them in some way, and they love what you love doing for a living. There's zero negative in that. I don't, look, sometimes someone will come up to you when it's not the best time, if you're in the middle of dinner with your family or something, but I understand it. It's not always the perfect moment, but it's always perfect that it happens.
That's right. It means we're doing our jobs well. And that's the key to it. It's, if no one was coming after us and screaming our names, then
then
we're not doing our job very well. Then you have a big problem. Then we certainly wouldn't be here with you, Rama, talking about our amazing film. So we've both been very blessed to have a very long career and do things that we love to do and to keep doing it. And it just seems for the two of us, we're really hitting our strides on so many levels, with our confidence in our technique and the relationships that we've built all these years, Michael directing now, me writing and producing, we get to do things that we love to do with people that we love to hang out with. What is better than that? And when someone says, hey, Neal, thanks for it, you bet I'm going to stand up and say thank you and take a picture, because it's an honor.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. For my fans at home, everybody go check out Redstone, arriving in theaters on VOD and in digital December 3. Neal and Michael, thank you for talking to me and congratulations.
Rama, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.